I
Even for people to listen to, right?
Yeah, this work has been, this book is from Julia Cannon. This
Yeah.
work has been a long time in the making. Okay, it has been long time in the making. When something arises from your life and living, from your life and living, and has its roots in everything you have done, it is safe to say it is a product of your life experiences. I was a Navy brat, a military term for a child raised in the military. And we were moving about every 2 years as my father was being transferred to different locations to fulfill his work obligations.
Mm.
So, this is the daughter of Dolores Cannon.
Yeah.
Even though we were raised Baptist and went to the church most every Sunday, we were also raised to be open minded and ask questions. I think I was always interested in things unusual and unseen. I was raised with this open way of thinking for most of my life, so it was nothing unusual for me. We were always stretching our horizons, and today it is no different. I don't recall,
I don't
I
read.
don't recall
Yeah.
started receiving messages audibly. It was very gradual and subtle and started as hunches. I remember a couple of times while I was driving, I would be contemplating a question or situation and would hear a shout from the back seat of my car. I remember turning around fully, expecting to see someone back there. No one was there, and the second time it happened, I took heed. I realized it was someone or something trying to communicate. So I tried to take action on what it shouted at me. I don't remember if anything came of this, but I think the important point was that I acknowledged the communication because that seemed to open something at that time.
Correct. See, here it is very important. If we really look into scenarios of ourselves sitting alone,
Ah,
we get this becomes a sort of a reading this makes you feel it's a deja vu. Hmm?
yeah.
Let's go further.
So this happened to her when she was driving alone.
Correct.
I have had many people tell me they have experienced the same shouting from the back seat of the car or someplace behind them. I think it comes through as a shout at first because it is the first piercing of the veil and it is something we are not used to hearing. They are constantly talking to us, but we do not listen. Once it has pierced through and we have acknowledged it, it is there as a very subtle sound or knowing. See, that is the important thing. See, we need to
See, now
cut the
then I link this to the intuition and chakras,
uh,
right?
that book. Yes,
Our horizon just so that means
expand.
we are hearing, we are experiencing, we are living at 7 stages simultaneously. I never
But
understood.
we are
Patriji
in
made
the
that
way.
statement when Patriji said, you are living in multiple dimensions simultaneously. I never understood the meaning.
Yes, yes. Even I said, "What is this?" Yeah, I thought correct. And also the same book, Banaseth book.
Hmm.
He keeps saying yes. So
So,
it's the thing is, we are in the multi-dimensional. We are putting the veils. We need
correct.
to, he said, we need to open.
So, this is
Yeah.
mind blowing. Now, yeah, read further.
Once it has pierced through and we have acknowledged it, it is there as a very subtle sound or knowing. I can assure you the most everyone hears this. I can assure you that most everyone hears this, but because it is so subtle, they think it is their own thoughts. You
Hmm.
will notice that when you ask a question, you hear an answer. Most of us think that it is our own self. So we pass it off as not relevant to or correct. we have hard time believing we could actually have the answers within us. We have a hard time believing we could actually have the answers within us.
Hmm.
I will show you in the next few chapters how you can and do have the answers. This is very, let us go through this book. I will show you in the next chapters how you can and do have the answers. You just need to believe it. To continue in the beginning, I was receiving very simple, mostly one word answers when I would ask a question. Being the ever vigilant person that I was, I decided I want to know who or what this was I was hearing. I have since found this is a very normal step in the development of these abilities. I believe this is a very human and helps us to discern for ourselves what. I asked them or whomever I was speaking to how I would know if it was them or just me and my wishful thinking. Some of the things I was hearing were very nice, and things I would definitely like to be real. I heard, if it is us, we will be just behind your right ear. And if it is you, it will be on the top left of your head. Oh, this is
What
the
is he
difference.
saying? See, your intuition, the messages that
Uh,
you're getting, right? If it is your own message, right? He says, if it is us, we will
that means
we
higher
will
self.
be
Higher
just
self means right.
behind your right ear. We will hear
Yeah.
behind the right ear. And if it is them, that means if it is from other sources, it will be top of your left, I mean, on the left top of your head. One is ear, the other one is above the head.
And if it is you, it will be on the top left or your head. Yeah.
Of your
Yeah. Top
top left of your head.
top left of your head. Yes,
Ah.
here. Now, this is not the case with everyone.
Hmm.
This is like a signal. This was how it was said for me. This is like higher self signal.
Correct.
This was to help me discern for myself. I think this is just healthy human stuff. We need to know these things to move forward.
Correct.
This
So
is how
I
we
wrote down
just
a comment. No, no, this is, I
uh,
wrote this comment. Is this how
yes.
we hear from our higher self on an ongoing basis?
Hmm.
Right? Probably. I don't know. But somehow, as I was listening to, I immediately felt this, so I wrote down. Another phenomenon.
See, one thing I want to be clear, she said, I heard in the quotations, okay?
Correct.
So they're talking. If it is us means people who are talking to her.
No, no. If it is us means she talking to herself.
Oh, she talking to herself.
She is expressing her
Okay.
experience for us to realize what it is.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought the person, whoever is talking to her.
If it
Okay,
is
got
them,
it.
if they are doing the talking, if it is coming from within us, then it will
Okay,
come behind the right ear.
okay,
If
got
it
it.
is from the
So
higher source, we may hear it some at a
far beyond, yeah.
specific point. Basically, it is like in our unified
Unique.
meditation, it says same
Yeah.
message will come, same message will come, right?
Yes,
It
yes.
is a manifestation of that. The way
That means reinforcing. Yeah.
I'm understanding. Yeah.
Yeah, another phenomenon I started noticing is that after I received a message, I would get three different confirmations within a 24 period. Wow. So again, it's like a reinforcement that it is correct. I would get three different confirmation within a 24-hour period. These confirmations would come in the form of someone coming up to me and repeating verbatim what I had heard, or I would hear it on the radio, see it on a billboard or on a television, or read it in a book
So,
that just happened
synchronicity and
that.
serendipity. Synchronicity
Yeah.
and serendipity. Now, I would also draw the attention of all of us into synchrodestiny,
Yes.
right?
We
What
need to
we
observe.
hear there, right? So
Yeah.
we need to take that also into cognizance.
Yes. Yes. So we need to pay attention to certain things happening.
Correct.
In my case, all one ones, I can always, whenever, for a certain reason, even nighttime or afternoon, I see one ones a lot.
I also. I see 1 1 or 1 4 1 4.
For me, either four fours, three fours, or one ones a lot.
Or I will
That.
see 2002.
Mm,
I don't know what it means. I didn't go into the depth.
yeah, correct.
Yeah,
Okay. I believe this helps reinforce to us that we actually did hear what we thought we heard. This
correct.
process of acknowledging and getting confirmation of these messages helps build the trust in our own guidance and continue to open the channel of communication. I no longer need the confirmation, but it still comes. I say thank you and always marvel at how it comes through. Wow.
No, no. See, this
Amazing.
happens. In fact, I remember
As the,
about 1 year ago, I asked GK sir, I am not doing regular meditation, but
mm,
get all these experiences. Why? He said,
mm,
Sagar, not only you, I also stopped doing this regular meditations a long time ago. Probably we have come to that threshold, and as long as we don't misuse that energy, this will continue. Right? The moment we start misusing this energy, then we will have to put additional effort to regain that state.
recharge.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, and another thing that is very important out of this, after these synchronicity, serendipity, synchrodestiny, intuition and chakras, and this one, what I am slowly getting at is, and thinking and destiny, of course, right?
Yeah.
All these are strengthening the processes of what we have been missing, even though that has been happening to us. That is what is getting highlighted.
Mm,
Just as those who have joined while we were talking, this just happened. This is a book I just posted about an hour ago. Okay, by Dolores Cannon's daughter, which says Soul Speaks. So while we are waiting for the time to touch 8:45 9, um, we thought we will use this time, and we are very surprised that this topic is attracting so many people much before the time. Yeah. So,
okay. As the veil of forgetfulness thins, we are all discovering we have the abilities. I see visuals with pictures in my mind's eye, hear messages, feel energy, and I know. These are just a few of the many ways to receive the information. I am not special. Anyone can do this. I guarantee each and every one of you have the abilities coming forth. If you don't think you do, it is either because you have expectations of how it is supposed to look, or you think have abilities will make you different or special. These are the limited
no,
thinking.
no, no. These are your expectations. Your body mind is taking control. See,
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
what we are doing is
Oh,
instead
surrendering.
of no, no, instead of surrendering, we are doing just the opposite. We are
Yeah.
trying to dictate terms with it, saying, this is how I want. It is like saying,
Oh,
I want to
yeah.
manifest something, but that manifestation has to happen only this way. You can't direct the universe.
Yes. Yes. So you need to surrender to whatever higher power, higher self.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
But where does the affirmation exist? I mean, I've just you know started listening to this in the middle, so I'm not sure what had happened in the previously.
No, we are
But
just reading the first chapter of that audio book that I posted. So we all keep getting messages, but we don't recognize them. Why do you not recognize? Because you are not operating from the domain of surrender. You are operating from the domain of expectation. And you are trying to dictate terms saying that if you confirm what I am feeling, do it only this way. You can't dictate terms with nature. That is the point he is trying to make. It is not just affirmations. When you raise a question to your higher self, the higher self is always in communication with you, but you are not ready to receive.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So
Just
yeah,
because. Ah,
yeah, everyone receives information in their own unique, different way.
hmm,
Just because someone is able to see visuals or know intuitively, for example, does not mean that that is the way it will be for you.
hmm.
Allow yourself to develop in your own unique manner. A very popular and many times overlooked ability is the goosebumps. The bumps you get over your arms, legs, body with the associated chills. Oh, so she's asking, do you know the bumps you get
No,
over
no, no,
your
no.
arms, legs,
See, one of the simplest way this happens is you get goosebumps.
bumps? Yes,
So
yes.
what are those goosebumps? She is explaining for those who are not able to relate to
They
what
are
is the goosebump.
They are termed different names in different countries, but I think you know what I mean. When you get these goosebumps, it means that whatever you just heard or what you just said is the truth.
Correct. So take
Yeah,
cognizance of it is the message. Yeah.
they have told me to have these abilities are our God given natural rights. They are as natural as breathing. So, if you can breathe, you can add, probably do have abilities coming forward. Just allow them to come through. There is nothing to be afraid of. You are stepping into your true self. A little over 10 years ago, I was very consumed in my nursing career and running a home health agency. I had been registered nurse for over 20 years and had specialized in intensive care and home health nursing. I kept getting messages to start a healing center in
So
Arkansas.
now,
I thought,
basically here, what is she highlighting? If you have learnt something, suppose that lesson
mm,
is over, right?
mm,
In Thinking and
yeah,
Destiny, we read that the universe will change the scenario such that you move to the next part of it.
yes,
Correct. That is what she is
yeah,
experiencing. She has done this,
uh-huh,
serving the people as a nurse for 20 years. Okay. The
yeah,
next stage that the universe was guiding her was through this message saying, you start your own center
yes,
out of your comfort zone and start this center.
yeah. I kept getting messages to start a healing center in Arkansas. I thought, why would I want to start a healing center in Arkansas? I received this message at least 4 times. I started to make minor moves in that direction, but then I would abandon any efforts to retreat to my comfort zone. I
Hmm.
had a pretty comfortable life in nursing and couldn't see how to
One sec.
move
You
away
continue.
from my
I think my grandson is wanting me to come out for a minute.
yeah, sure, sure. Yeah. I had a pretty comfortable life in nursing and could not see how to move away and still be comfortable. These messages came over a period of 1 to 2 years. I even made an attempt at some kind of health center in Missouri.
So he has come in to say hi.
oh,
Oh, hi.
hello, Sia, guys. Pee pee. It's getting that shut. See that sand. I want to on again speed.
What one?
Where is the sand button?
There is no button to that. It comes on by itself.
Where is it?
It is here. Okay.
Good.
Stop.
What is your name
What is
in
your?
parenting?
They are asking
And
you.
it's Vedant. See, what is this? There's mountains.
Person retreats to my comfort zone. I had a pretty comfortable life in nursing and couldn't see how to move away from it and still be comfortable.
Hmm.
That these messages came over a period of 1 to 2 years. I even made an attempt at some kind of health center in Missouri where I lived at that time. So you could see I was getting the messages and trying to act on them, but I was trying to do it my way in a way that I was comfortable. When the last message came, I asked a different question. I asked, how on earth would I start a healing center in Arkansas? I guess this was the magic question because as soon as I asked it, my life turned completely upside down. It was as if, oh my God, it was as if the universe was saying, I will show you how. I was plucked out of this comfortable life that I had built and known so well, and was thrust into my new life of uncertainty and complete new beginnings. I had lost every silver of my previous life. All of my material possessions were gone. My career was gone. Everything I had known, all of my comforts gone. All I had left was my family. I have read since then that this sometimes happens so you realize who you really are. You are not your possessions or career or stations in life or that station in life. You are stripped down to the bone, and what is left is you. Oh my God. Yeah, had that wonderful experience. Good. Yeah.
I know.
You are not your possessions. Move on. This was my experience with the etheric or universal 2 by 4. What is this 2 by 4? Etheric
I
or
also don't know.
universal?
I'm trying to. So probably it is talking about the layers of the bodies.
Okay. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't get the
Okay.
meaning. I've been searching the net for that. Right. So somewhere it talks
Yeah.
about this. Uh, the etheric body is known as 2 by 4.
Oh,
Okay. That is
okay.
what I understood. But I need to dig deeper to get the complete meaning. But this is what I
Sure.
got.
I like to say that mine felt more like a 10 by 6. I can be pretty hard headed sometimes, and it took more to get me to listen, I guess. I kicked and screamed and resisted the move that was being thrust upon me. Even now, I find myself resisting this new life as it keeps unfolding. I find this very funny since I have what it seems by many an enviable life as I am able to live 24 by 7 what I believe. Most people are trying to fit in activities to do with their beliefs around hectic schedules of working jobs they don't like with no. See, that is what she is saying. Most people are trying to fit in the activities to do with their beliefs around hectic schedules of working jobs they don't like with people that don't understand them. I am around fascinating people all of the time, and I am able to travel to the far reaches of the world.
So
See, this,
basically, what she is communicating is by listening to the voices that and taking up the challenge, right? You are actually making progress because as you go further, she says, what do you do? When you have completed one class, do you go to the next class? Or if you are
yes,
playing a game and you have finished one level, go to the next level, go to the next level, right?
and also you learn to leave the comfort zone to go into new, yeah.
Exactly. And when you have
Alpha
learned the
has
complete game, take that process and start designing games,
Yes.
right?
That's why we move
So
a lot in you. My
these,
husband always
good.
always leave the comfort zone.
Correct.
And as I have evaluated why
One
I still
question.
resist.
Ratna ma'am is wanting to say. Yeah, yeah,
So
Ratna.
these
Yeah,
numbers that she was talking about, could it be like a sigils?
No, I didn't get it. What is that?
the
Sigil
24 by 4.
20, 2 by 4 and all those
No,
numbers.
no, 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 no.
Could it
Etheric
be
body,
sigils?
the etheric body is known as 2 by 4.
Yes. So, sigils have their numbers, which are converted to a phrase
No, 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 no. This is
from Ju
not that. The etheric body is known by that number.
Yeah, I heard somewhere like, these planets have numbers, like a sun is denoted with 1,
No, no,
moon
no,
is
no, no,
denoted
no,
with
no.
2,
See,
something like that. So in that way,
no,
if
no,
they
it's not that
correspond
way.
into these
Not that way.
bodies,
It's
no
not
such that.
that way. No, no. You have totally 7 bodies or 7
No,
layers
I
in your
understand,
body,
sir. But I'm
right?
saying that information, maybe we can relate it to this
No,
and
no,
then,
no, no. Here she is only talking about your layered structure.
okay.
She is only
And
talking because when I did the search for 2 by 4, right? I don't know if I'm still having that. Yeah. Okay. So, what do you get? Etheric body. That is what is known as the 2 by 4.
Okay.
Okay. Etheric
mm,
projection and astral projection are two terms often associated with out of body and so on. And etheric layer, I think, is if you take the etheric plane, that astral plane, it is supposed to be in 4 levels. So something to that relationship is what we need to understand.
so in that 4,
Oh,
the
okay.
second one is etheric.
Probably.
Yeah, okay.
Etheric body is said to be in immediate contact with the physical body and to sustain it and conceal with, connect with higher bodies. It is said to consist of, right? What is this? Let us read that. Because that's what I understood. The etheric body is said to be the immediate contact with the physical body and to sustain it and connect it with higher bodies. It is also said to consist of a finer substance, more pure and composed of smaller particles. So somewhere there is that explanation which takes us. So we need to go back to C.W. Leadbeater and Annie Besant's book on
Okay,
astral
okay.
plane and astral body.
So which means every body is associated with some kind of number? We can,
No, not number. It is the construct of that body will have multiple layers.
oh, okay. In that respect, okay, got
Correct, correct. Right. And 24 by 7 is 24 by 7 hours.
Yeah,
7
yeah, that is obvious. Yes,
Correct.
that's not.
But
Yes.
she was thinking as 10 by 6 means like as a physical body.
No, no, no. This felt
Mm.
that she had more than, it is not 2 by 4, but she felt that was 10 by 6. So,
Oh, I got it.
yeah.
I got it. Much more than like a very,
Exactly.
yeah, spread.
Much more sampled layers that she was able to visualize. That is the point she is making.
Expanded. Okay.
Just a moment.
Yeah, yeah. So let me read this again. Most people are trying to fit in activities to do with their beliefs around hectic schedules of working jobs which they don't like with people that don't understand them. I am around fascinating people all of the time and I am able to travel to the far reaches of the world. As I have evaluated why I still resist, I think it is because that human part of me does not like being told what to do. And no matter how wonderful this present life is, it is not what I had consciously chosen for myself. Aren't we silly? Given us the moon, but if it didn't come in the way we anticipated, we are not happy. I am gradually accepting this as my life, especially as I understand how the guidance and 2 by 4s work. Okay. Chapter 2, Hypnosis. The larger influence for this material is my mother, Dolores Cannon. The best way to become familiar with her vast body of work is to do a search for her on the internet. I will relay the part of her work I will relay the part of her work and applies to what I am presenting here. Dolores is a past life regression therapist. She is a master hypnotherapist. She is a master of hypnotherapist and has been doing this work for over 40 years. She is a brave and pioneering woman who is never afraid and always curious. See, this is very important.
Yes.
Never afraid and always curious. My father was in the Navy for 21 years and it felt like we were always relocating as we tended to move every 2 years. I feel this helped shape us into being very open minded as we were exposed to so many different environments and people. We never stayed long enough in any one place to make long lasting relationships. The tendency was to make friends fast and learn how to move on and leave people behind. We were raised to be open to other ways of thinking, and I believe that paved the way to what has been happening in our lives. I know it sounds glitch, but I am often asked, what was it like growing up with a mother like Dolores? You had to understand she was not always what you see today. We were a basic military family barely aching by. Yeah.
Hmm.
My father was the original hypnotist and my mother was assisting him. This was in the 1960s when past lives and metaphysics were unknown things. Wow, in 1960s he was the hypnotist.
Correct.
Amazing. They were helping a woman to lose weight with hypnosis by helping her relax when suddenly she went into a past life. This led to an incredible story of going back through five lives and to where she was created. This was quite astounding at the time and opened many avenues in their thinking. You can find this full story in Dolores' book, Five Lives Remembered. So initially it came from her father.
Correct. Correct.
Over the course of time, Dolores became more and more proficient in her work with people and discovered even more exciting and new adventures and has written 17 books at the time of this writing by 2012. She worked with the UFO abductees for over 20 years, and as she was working with the extraterrestrials, she started getting information that was of a higher nature than what the ETs were giving her, and she found herself communicating with a very high source of information.
Hmm.
This later became known to be the source of all knowledge. She found that this source of information was also able to instantly heal the person she was working with if it was appropriate. Through the course of working with this higher power, she has been told how the body uses aches, pains, and diseases to communicate messages to that person. This is what I will be disclosing here in this book. This is very interesting. Through the course of pain and disease, we get the communications, which is
Correct.
true because when we come into meditation, everybody goes through some pain to
Correct.
heal that, we get into this. Okay. I started receiving messages to write this book while I was helping Dolores teach her hypnosis method classes, quantum healing hypnosis therapy. I would
QHHT
be
is her framework.
uh,
Cannon's framework of you empowering yourself to heal yourself is her framework, which she discusses in the convoluted universe and all that.
Convoluted Universe. Yeah. Yeah. That book was I was listening to audio.
No, but
Yes.
then there are 5 books. Convoluted Universe itself has got 5 volumes.
My God. I think all those books describes the different therapies and she was handling
No, no,
with
no,
different
no.
patients.
No, no, no. See, those are different experiences with UFOs and all that. And
Uh-huh.
healing experiences of her PGs, her patient gods, you may call them.
Okay. Yeah, I just heard some part of it, but in that she explained how
Correct.
people were
So
getting.
probably you would have picked up 4 or 5.
Yeah, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
I would be sitting in the back of the room, usually working, and I would get the message that I was the one to pull all of this information regarding the body in one location.
Correct.
At first, I felt humbled and intimidated as this is Dolores' discovery, and how would she feel if I were to put this together?
One second.
Okay.
One second.
Yeah,
There is a
yeah, yeah,
message,
sure.
I think. What is this message? Mainly New Earth regarding. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's continue.
At first, I felt humbled and intimidated as this is Dolores' discovery, and how would she feel if I were to put this together? Yeah, because it is her work, and then the people are instructing her daughter to put this information together. I thought maybe we should collaborate so there was no mistaking where the information is coming from. I asked her about it, and she said she fully supported me doing it, but it was my book to write as she had several other books she was working on. She has continued to get information from sessions for me to include in the numerous examples you will see in this book. I will use
The
the terms.
mother has been guiding the daughter, basically. Yeah.
Mm, yes,
Right. Okay.
I will use the term session through this book, throughout this book. This refers to private hypnosis sessions in which Dolores hypnotizes a client. Hypnosis is a deep state of relaxation in which the client is able to access information in different perception.
Different
The
form
most common,
perception.
yeah, in different forms of perception. And the most common way of receiving information is through visualization,
Correct.
but some people are only able to tell what is happening by sensing their surroundings or by knowing. I want you to know this because so many people come for a session and have expectations of what they think it is supposed to be based on preconceived notions or things they have read in some Dolores books. See, that is that. So we should go without any preconceived notions.
Exactly. No,
Preconceived ideas.
that is what earlier when we were just going through, right?
Yeah, yes.
Masters who have joined later, is basically we are doing some other book that I had posted to fill in the time because some of us joined early. Okay. This is a book that I posted an hour and a half ago, which talks about soul speaks. Yeah. While we wait for the others to join, instead of keeping idle, we will spend another 10 minutes and then, yeah. Let's continue, ma'am.
Okay. So the most common way of receiving information is through visualization, but some people are only able to tell what is happening by sensing their surroundings or by knowing. I want you to know this because so many people come for a session and have expectations of what they think it is supposed to be based on preconceived notions or things they have read in some Dolores books.
Correct. So
The
now
through this process,
here, here it is also important to draw attention to what Deepak Chopra is saying in Synchro Destiny.
Mhm.
He says most of the time, what we experience is what we perceive, what we
Mm.
conceive, not and what we perceive, but that is not reality,
Hmm.
right? So we are only able to communicate what we conceive and what we perceive, but reality
Yes,
is much more.
much more than that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the point.
Through this process of hypnosis, the client is able to visualize different times and places, whatever is deemed appropriate and necessary by their higher power.
Mm,
Information from different times and places can be very helpful in giving insights to your life situation now.
correct. So we get insights through this communication.
Yeah. Okay. Who we really are. In order to make sense of how you can cause this healing to take place, you must first understand who you really are. You are not just flesh and blood. You have a flesh and blood body, but it is connected to something much grander. You have probably heard the phrase, you are not a body, you have a body. This is the suit of clothes you chose for this earthly experience.
For
Now,
this
before you
earthly
get upset,
experience, that needs to be emphasized.
yeah, yes, you have a body. Yeah, that's right. This is like a suit or cloth, a pair of clothes you wear. Now, before you get upset, realize you chose everything about your life for a reason, for things you wanted to learn.
This is what
When
we
we came,
forget. This is what we forget.
yeah, yes. Now, before you get upset, realize you chose everything about your life for a reason,
Correct.
for things we wanted to learn. When we came here, we came with an intention of learning and experiencing everything. This way, we can grow and develop. Without getting complicated, we have a soul that decided to come to this plane and have experiences as a human. This earth plane has rules like playing a game. And one of the rules to play this game on earth is to know the rules. Essentially, play the game in the dark with a veil over your eyes. This makes the game more challenging and fun. Back to what I said about having a body, not being a body. We start as a soul. Yeah. So, we are playing, we need to play the game in a dark, with the veil. This is the most challenging universe of all the universes to live in. This is the most challenging planet of all the planets in this universe to live on.
Mm.
In order to be allowed to step foot on this planet, you must be a master manifester. Oh, you must be a master manifester. That is the only type of soul that could possibly handle what is happening on this planet with this game board. This
Mm.
is not by accident. This is all by design. Any games out there, people who love to play games, especially the computer games, the games have different levels. On each level are all kinds of challenges that hone your abilities to maneuver around obstacles.
Mm.
What do you do when you complete a level? You move on to the next level, right? And that level is a little harder and more complicated with more and more different challenges. And what do you do when you complete that level? You move on to the next level. That is again more challenging. Okay, let us say you have now completed the entire game. Wonderful. You are the master of that game. Now what? You move on to another game. Probably because you are a master of all games at games. You will pick up one that is more challenging because you want to further hone your skills.
Mm.
When you finish that game, you move to another more challenging game. Okay, let us say you continue on and now have all completed all of the games out there. Now, what do you do? Create a game. Oh, see, that is what happening in her life. So when you completed all the levels of game, you
Correct.
make your own. Yeah, you create a game. We as masters, manifestors, wanted to have a challenging experience. If you as a master game player wanted to create a game, how would you design it? maybe start with an environment that is very heavy and dense, making it very different to move around in. We are used to being light as air and flying and creating on a whim. This dense medium would be like trying to move around in the muck and mire of quicksand.
Correct.
That is the very, yeah, very well, wonderful, yeah.
Yeah.
When I get a new game, the first thing I want to know is the rules. How do I play this game? Well, let us say in this game, we are designing, there are no rules. Everyone does what they want. That is the free will. Then, to make it really exciting, let us make it so everyone forget that.
So, to
Number
make
one,
it really exciting, let us make it that everyone forgets the rules.
everyone forgets it. Yeah.
One.
So that is number. See, that is why if you already see the movie, there is no excitement.
Correct. So now he is saying, one, this is a game.
Yeah. Number one, this is a game. Number two, who we really are. Number three, we designed this game. The veil of forgetfulness is pulled over our eyes when we enter this planet. We are the only beings in the universes that forget who we are and our connection to everything.
Correct.
Only
That becomes the essence of the game that we have to play.
Yes. Only master manifestors could do something like that. We are great and powerful beings who came here to have meaningful learning and challenging experiences, all of which will hone our abilities and skills for even greater things we wish to accomplish. Because we are here without memory of who or what we are, we created a communication system to help us along the way, to let us know if we are getting off track of where we are going or what we desire to do while here. The communication system is always working, but we don't always know how to interpret the messages. More on this in a minute. So she is saying we are getting all the communication, but we don't know how to interpret the messages.
Correct.
Dolores Cannon, my mother teaches her method of hypnosis all over the world, and I am usually right there with her in the classroom to assist as needed. During one of the classes in Sydney, Australia, the class was discussing this source of all knowledge that Dolores contacts when she has the person in trance, and they are sharing all of this profound wisdom. Dolores calls this part as the subconscious because she didn't know what else to call it. It is not the subconscious that psychiatrists refer to, which is the childish part of the mind that is used during hypnosis to work and change the habits. This part, Dolores has discovered, has been termed by others as the oversoul, the higher self, or the universal consciousness. In the class, was a lot of back and forth debating about who and what that is. Where is this?
I'll join you in a minute.
Yes,
I'll
who
get
and
back
what
to you.
is this? I was in the back of the room working as I usually am when all of a sudden I got a visual in my mind's eye of what all of this is. I thought, oh, that is cool. And then I heard a voice say, draw it. I said, oh, okay, that is okay. I got it. And I heard, draw it. So she's Yeah, her higher self keeps saying, draw it. If any of you have ever had them yell at you, you know what I am talking about. They will yell if necessary, especially to those of you that can be really hard-headed. You may wonder what this they or them is that I refer to. This is what my drawing will show, so bear with me. I proceeded to draw what I was shown, and I found I didn't understand it like I thought I did. In the drawing of it, they showed me to make some subtle but very important changes that made all the difference in the understanding of that principle. When the class took
we are already here. See, as a group, We are already here. Unless we draw the diagram, we are not getting the clarity, if you can observe.
Yes.
Right. So as a group, we are already at this state. Yeah.
Okay. While I was explaining it, someone from across the room came running over and said, "That is the answer I have been trying to
No,
get."
no, no. You missed
After
the
the
next line. When the
yeah,
class
sorry.
took a break,
Yeah, when the class took a break, I showed someone next to me what I had been given. While I was explaining it, someone from across the room came running over and said, "That is the answer I have been trying to get." After the break, I proceeded to recreate the drawing for the entire class. Another interesting thing happened. Some of the students asked
my
questions.
grandson called.
Yeah, sure. Questions that I never would have thought to ask. When they did, the drawing evolved and the answers appeared before me. This drawing has continued to evolve as people ask questions. Questions are very important. I now see it breathing. Oh, I now see it breathing. I will be drawing it here for you. But you must understand this. It is a six-dimensional drawing. Yeah, we need to go one more page down, but
No,
it's already.
before, should we stop here and go into the next book, or what do we do?
Is there a diagram she has drawn here?
No, there is not. I think so. Yeah. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Diagram is coming. Yeah. This drawing,
Okay.
yeah, I missed what you read here. Okay.
Yeah. This drawing has continued. Okay, here she said, I proceeded to recreate the drawing for the entire class. Another interesting thing happened. Some of the students asked questions that I never would have thought to ask. When they did, the drawing evolved and answers appeared before me. This drawing has continued to evolve as people ask questions. Questions are very important. I now see it breathing. I will be drawing it here for you. But you must understand this. This is a six-dimensional drawing. Okay, I don't know what that means yet, but okay. But that I am trying to rely on a two-dimensional medium. I am limited and will do the best I can to get that information across.
I mean, at least I can relate to what she is saying here, because I go through that experience, right? When people ask me questions, my mind starts exploring the right answer.
Yeah. And let's see the drawing, it's very interesting. Yeah, because the limited nature of the medium, things will be out of proportion, but use your imagination and I think you will get it. This is you sitting here reading this. This is you. This is who you think you are.
Okay.
Okay. And the next one is, okay, here.
Yeah. This is you.
Okay.
Okay.
Who you really are. I call this big me, the little me. You are huge. Only a tiny piece of you of who you really are comes into this physical manifestation. You call your body to have this life experience. The rest of you is outside of yourself. Here is a person in your family. Here is their little me.
This is very much like one of the diagrams we picked. See, we are in the physical world, then we are moving into the psychic world, we are going into the mental world, and we are going into the noetic world, right? It's very similar to that. Okay.
Yeah, and not
People
only
may be
that,
wondering, what is this suddenly? We thought it was thinking and destiny. This is not
yeah,
thinking
and
and
also,
destiny. I had posted a book about an hour and 45 minutes ago, which is known as Soul Speaks. So only me and Bala ma'am were there when we started. So we started reading it, and then we had another 5 people join. So we continued till now. We will stop it here, and then
and let's go back.
correct.
Thinking and destiny.
Yeah. right?
It's just only a couple of one more paragraph besides the pictures. Maybe we can finish it up.
We have already done that, no? Just
No,
now.
there
No,
is
no.
there is a
The,
beautiful audio, madam. MP3s are sent already. I think
uh,
one can listen to that and then follow whatever is
No, that
necessary
is the
there.
reason why I sent. No, not that. We know that we have the audio. Basically, I got so excited while listening to that
Yeah.
that we started reading it. Only two people were there.
I'm
We
saying
couldn't resist the temptation.
this chapter is going to be done besides these
Yeah, this
few
is done.
pictures.
Yeah.
One more paragraph.
Okay.
Hardly.
We
We
can
can
just
finish it up.
complete this and then move over to the book. Yeah.
I call this big me and little me. You are huge. Only a tiny piece of you, only a tiny piece of who you really are comes into this physical manifestation. You call your body to have this life experience. The rest of you is outside of yourself. Here is a person in your family. Here is their little me.
Correct. So basically, that entire thing she is calling the family. Okay.
Mm.
I mean, there are a number of these diagrams. I think we will do individual analysis of these diagrams.
Oh, the big me's are overlapping. Like maybe they
Yeah.
are connected.
No, this is
Yeah.
exactly the same diagram that we had posted earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go to
Go
our
back.
thinking and destiny. One sec. Let me just stop the recording.